if, as Neil deGrasse Tyson points out, this is so interesting. Let me read in today's New York Times, if you just tuned in, it says, it appears that Hillary Clinton is going to suspend her presidential campaign this weekend at the urging of Democratic Party leaders. I'm eructating, and superdelegates. Before that happens, Mrs. Clinton and the superdelegates might want to know this. If the general election were held today, Barack Obama would lose to John McCain, while Mr. McCain would lose to Mrs. Clinton. Now, the last question he writes in his article, and by the way, he is an astrophysicist. We've had him on. He's an expert in black holes. He's the head of the Hayden Planetarium. And he writes in his final paragraph, well, penultimate paragraph, I should say, two questions arise in the face of this result. Whom should the Republican candidate prefer to run against to maximize his party's chances of retaining the White House? And what does it say of the Democratic delegate selection system when its winner would lose the presidency if an election were held today, yet its loser would win at it? Now, or win it, rather. Now, what you're saying is, wait a minute, what are you getting at? Haven't you had your dose of the Kool-Aid? Let me say this to you again for the umpteenth time. I do not want John McCain to be the president of the United States. I don't want a Republican to be the president of the United States for, I don't think, the foreseeable future. In fact, I can't even imagine it. So let me explain my party bona fides. I am not a Democrat. Democrats sometimes let me down, okay, big time. Democrats let me down. But I will tell you that between Barack Obama and McCain, there is no doubt in my mind whom I want. Now, the next question I have to ask you is simply this. Do you know him? What are you getting at? Let me just ask you a question. Do you know Barack Obama? Next question I have for you. What's going to be the Michelle Obama effect on this? Do we know her? Do we know anything about her? I don't. Now, you're asking yourself, what the hell does that have to do with anything? That's what I asked about Teresa Hines Carey, but apparently it had a lot to do. I'm going to predict something right now. I'm going to predict that I'm going to send the message out to the Obama camp. Really keep an eye on this one. I want a lot of polling data on this. So far, personally, I think she's great. But I thought Teresa Hines Carey was great, too. It was great, but apparently other people don't see it that way.